Hey, Dow, you need to hear this. You need to hear this. American Navy is crumbling. And you want to know why? I'm going to show you. The American bloody Navy's crumbling. And now again, some of you will come back and say, Shaz, why are you grinning? Because it is a point of grinning. The aggressor is crumbling. Some of you just don't understand that. That's because you follow the aggressor. You're quite happy with people dying. You are happy with people dying. And when I smile, when an aggressor is crumbling, you have a problem. Mate, deal with it. And for the rest of you, watch this. Ta-da!
Crashing out right now in the White House as the Secretary of the United States Navy, John C. Phelan, has suddenly resigned from his position. Let me repeat that. The top official in the United States Navy.
He's gone, man. He's gone. He doesn't want to be done for war crimes.
Still at war, while the Navy currently has a blockade in the Persian Gulf, while morale has never been lower of the United States Navy. As the Navy is committing war crimes, the Secretary of the United States Navy has suddenly tendered his resignation. Donald Trump's Defense Department spokesperson Sean Parnell just posted the following statement. Secretary of the Navy John C. Phelan is departing the administration effective immediately. On behalf of the Secretary of War and Deputy Secretary of War, we are grateful to the Secretary Phelan for his service to the Department and the United States Navy. We wish him and his future, we wish him well in his future endeavors. Under Secretary Young Kao will become the acting Secretary of the United States Navy. Secretary of Navy
Mr.
John C.
Kao.
Phelan stepped down.
Also, hung Kao. He's going to be hung and dry.
That Iran said they're refusing to show up in Islamabad, Pakistan, to have any further negotiations with Donald Trump regarding a ceasefire or anything until Donald Trump ends the naval blockade in the Persian Gulf, and unless and until Donald Trump agrees to the 10-point negotiating framework with Iran that Donald Trump previously said that he was agreeing to, and until Donald Trump stops threatening Iran with the United States Navy and with the United States military. So the fact that the top official in the United States Navy is resigning right now is really catastrophic. This is unprecedented, folks. And you'll recall our Navy has been stretched very thin, both in terms of their weapons. We know that it's been exhausted during this catastrophic and a long
Toilet bowls don't work.
But if you look at some of the aircraft carriers like the U.S.
There's no food in the ships.
It's now been on active duty missions. It's been the longest deployed aircraft basically since
World War II.
Cold War. Over 300 days. Morale is very low. We've been hearing stories about the food being served on the USS Gerald Ford.
There's no fucking sausages there.
USS Abraham Lincoln, barely leading members of our incredible Navy.
Incredible fucking Navy.
USS Gerald Ford before the catastrophic war in Iran.
Now I'm laughing, guys. You got something.
$13 billion aircraft carrier had toilet bowls that didn't work.
Ew.
So had thousands of sailors swimming through raw sewage.
Ew.
Started the catastrophic war in Iran, and it had to head to a port in order to get that fixed. We'll also recall that
Raw sewage, in their food as well.
Held a weird press conference with Donald Trump back in December, where he talked about building a new class of battleships called the Trump class of battleships.
Trump class. Fucking Trump class.
Stealth ships look and how other ships are made. So Trump wanted battleships to look the way they did during like World War I and World War II. He wanted that as the model, he said. And so you had John Phelan hold a weird press conference saying that's what he was going to do, and he was going to call them the Trump battleships with nuclear capabilities.
This ship isn't just to swat the arrows. It is going to reach out and kill the archers. And for the first time in generations, we'll have a new leg in America's nuclear deterrence. Because the Trump-class battleship...
Trump-class battleship.
sea-launched cruise missile. Striking dominance isn't all that the Trump-class battleship brings.
It's going to be an orange ship.
It has the size and capacity to serve as a flagship for our fleet commanders, so that they can command and control naval forces far out to sea.
Remember how embarrassing it was when then Donald Trump was like, I'm an aesthetic person. I don't like the way our ships look. Remember that? Play this clip.
Well, the Second World War, freighters of different types, but we were doing a ship a day, and now we're going to do ships. And I'm not a fan of some of the ships you do. I'm a very aesthetic person. I don't like some of the ships.
You want them in fucking gold color.
I said that's and I know ship
Fucking
is not
hilarious.
necessary in order to say your stealth. By the way, the B-2 bombers were incredible. That is stealth. They went into that.
Let me just remind you all what Donald Trump had previously said back on November 26, 2024, where he nominated John Phelan. Just to be clear, John Phelan's never been in the Navy before, no military experience. He's just a big Republican donor, a rich guy who was appointed in this position by Donald Trump. This is what Donald Trump said back in November of 2024. It is my great honor to announce John Phelan as our next United States Secretary of Navy. John will be a tremendous force for our naval service members
And he's now left.
leader in advancing my America First vision. He will put the business of the U.S. Navy above all else. John has excelled in every endeavor, from founding and leading Rugger Management LLC to co-founding MSD Capital LP private investment firms for Michael Dell, CEO of Dell Technology. His record and success speaks for itself. A true champion of American enterprise and ingenuity. Private equity guy was the Secretary of Navy, but he's gone. He has suddenly resigned during this war while we're in these very
Oh dear.
This tenuous situation, and Donald Trump continues to crash out in the White House right now. As Iran is just saying, Donald, you can keep on extending your deadlines, but we're not going to negotiate with you unless and until you stop threatening us, and unless and until you end the naval blockade in the Persian Gulf and agree to the 10-point negotiating framework that you previously agreed to. Then we'll meet, and we're happy to go to Islamabad. And that's what they've been saying. Donald Trump's like, well, I'm going to give them until Sunday. I'm going to give them 3 to 5 days, right, when the market's closed. I'm going to extend the deadline. Iran's like, we're not asking for that. We're not asking for any extension. Now, the fact that you have the Navy Secretary resigning, that signals a weakness, chaos. Iran sees. Can you imagine if Iran's chief of the Navy, suddenly
They never leave. You only hear about Trump people leaving. Leaving the fucking Trump train.
Like, oh, and this person in Iran is being fired, and there's a coup here, and all these things happen. It's all projection and confession. The head of our Navy has just resigned in the middle of this war, and Donald Trump continues to crash out as a result of all of this. Donald Trump posted the following: Morning Glory. Will President Trump go full Sherman in the war on Iran? From Sherman's march to Trump's Iran deadline, a historical argument emerges for why ruthless wartime measures can ultimately deliver lasting peace. You think that's the productive response to Iran? And then this is like his therapy and makes him
He's so fucking weird. Now you're all gonna say, "Why am I laughing?"
Exclamation point. And he posts a New York Times article from 2004 that says The Apprentice scores ratings top for season. And then he posts another graphic from the New York Times that says finale viewers 28 million, demographic 17.5 million viewers. He posts, you can't compromise on sanity and common sense. Like a total crash out. If you want to see what Iran's lead negotiator and
Oh, this is fucking funny.
is saying, here's what he writes: a complete ceasefire.
You Americans are completely fucked, man.
Maritime blockade and the hostage.
This is the best America's got to offer.
Warmongering across all fronts is halted. Reopening the Strait of Hormuz is impossible with such a flagrant breach of the ceasefire. They did not achieve their goals through military aggression, nor will they through bullying. The only way forward is to recognize the rights of the Iranian nation. Then Iran's president, Pezeshkian, posted, the Islamic Republic of Iran has always welcomed and continues to welcome dialogue and agreement. Bad faith, siege, and threats are the main obstacles to genuine negotiation. The world is witnessing your hypocritical, empty talk and the contradiction between your claims and your...
So there you go, guys. Mr. Phelan decides to jump ship. The chief rat jump ship. And they're now going to build Trump-class and Epstein-class frigates and ships. The current ships have a toilet problem. Feces is floating all around their ships. Everything's gone wrong. They're out of ammunition. They're out of everything. Iran has said that they do not want to come to Islamabad because these fuckers cannot agree. Anyway, what else can I say?